Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. I'm so glad you're here. It is February 17th. For those in Canada, except BC, because they celebrated last week, happy Family Day. And for those in the United States, it is President's Day. So happy President's Day. So it kind of feels like a weekend where maybe there's a sense of, a little bit of celebration, perhaps a little bit of like kicking back, relaxing a little bit. And frankly, I hope that that is the weekend that everybody had, because we need it. Okay, so today I'm going to take a look at Mike Flynn and Roger Stone. And I've titled this video, as you know, Flynnstones. Flynnstones. Mostly because when I think about these two gentlemen, I really do think of Barney and Fred. And Trump's sort of like Bam Bam, just banging everything. I digress. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my cards, but I'm also going to take a look at, I'm going to start both of them off with my pendulum and just see if we can sort of drill down on some answers here. Now, speaking of pendulums, before I forget, I was gifted by one of my viewers some absolutely gorgeous pendulums. And it came from the SD shop under the name Aquarius Age Things. Aquarius Age Things, all one word, at that SD shop. So he does a lot of pendulum work, but he also does other pieces. And these pieces are created not only with beautiful crystals, but also with energies. And they're just lovely. So I'm going to share these two with you. This one is just clear quartz on beautiful silver. It's absolutely lovely. And this one, which is I have designated this one almost just like another one of my personal, for my own personal family, my own personal questions. I have created this one or put the intention that this one is going to be used for that. And it's lovely, clear quartz, and you also have amethyst. Absolutely beautiful. And one of the reasons that it twigged on me that I should mention this today is because, as you know, this pendulum, which is the one I have designated for political readings, it was programmed so that it goes back and forth for yes and round for no, and when it doesn't kind of know what it wants to say or there isn't an answer, it just kind of goes still. And a lot of people comment that that's kind of unusual because typically pendulums, go round and round for yes. So when I was setting the intentions on this pendulum, there it goes, I was delighted to see that this is another one that really seems to like to go back and forth for yes. So I can tell you the energy of these two pendulums that I received is lovely. It is a beautiful, gentle energy. So for those of you who are interested in taking a look at his website, Aquarius Age Things, hop over and see if you see anything you like. All right. Okay. Let's start with Flynn. Okay, so pendulum, if I have reached the highest source for clarity and accuracy, please move side to side as a way of indicating that you are ready. Okay, and so that is what it is doing. So I would like to talk about Mike Flynn. Can I answer some questions regarding Mike Flynn? Okay, and it's saying, yes, I can. So, from what I understand, Mike Flynn is trying to reverse his guilty plea. He now wants a new trial. Is that likely to be granted? Okay, that's definitely looking like a pretty clear no. The Department of Justice has adjusted their stance, of course, under the shenanigans of Bill Barr, and they are now saying that Flynn does not need to go to jail at all, and that he should just be given probation. So, is Mike Flynn likely to get just probation as a sentence? Okay, no. And that's really, come on, that's not really all that big a reach, because this, of course, was the judge who all but, wanted to know if he could be charged with treason, and sent him off during one of his hearings to go do some more work with the Department of Justice and maybe see if he could get the sentence that the judge was thinking about giving him reduced. So this isn't a judge that, frankly, is all that thrilled with the shenanigans. So, okay, so we definitely have that. It doesn't look as if that new trial is going to be granted. It looks as if he is going to end up with some sort of a prison sentence. Okay, let's see what my cards would like to say about that. Come on down and let's take a look at Mike Flynn. Let's move my little crystals so they're over here. There we go. So let's look at Mike Flynn, shall we? He is a favorite of Donald Trump's. Oh, that was my other question. Hang on, let me shuffle these cards, and I'm going to go back and ask the other question that I think is probably on everybody's mind. So, Michael Flynn. Michael Flynn. Michael Flynn legal. Michael Flynn legal. Michael Flynn legal. I'm going to cut this, and then I'm going to get my pendulum back out here. Michael Flynn. Okay, my other question, I'll just put this here so you can see it. Is Michael Flynn likely to receive a pardon from Donald Trump? And that is a very big no. And of course, that makes sense, right? Because remember that when when a pardon is issued, what it does is it basically says, yep, you know what, you're guilty, but we're going to pardon you for your behavior. So people who are pardoned absolutely have to accept complete responsibility for their wrongdoing. They have to acknowledge that they were guilty. Second, and more important, when that happens, they lose their constitutional right to, what is that, the Fifth Amendment or whatever it is that says, I won't answer that because I don't want to incriminate myself, because they can't incriminate themselves if they've been pardoned for the very thing that they're being asked questions about. So kind of interesting, Trump is he likes to scream the word pardon, but when it actually comes to people who have done wrong because of him, he's not so quick to do it, because again, that would then open those people up to having to testify without any sort of protection. So they would have to answer the questions about their relationship with Trump and what was going on. All right, let's take a look. Ooh, lots of worry, lots of worry. I guess it's getting kind of real for the guy, eh? Yeah, okay, so here we have it. Hold on, this is just feeling really crowded. You move back. You move back. There we go. Okay, so we're starting with the Nine of Swords, right? And we have the Six of Swords here also. So what you've got here is he's worried. He's actually really scared about going to jail. There is actually a lot of concern and worry within his home, within the family. And part of it is it feels as if, frankly, there is something going on with Mr. Flynn with regards to the way he is processing information, or the things that he now believes, like the head, right? There's something going on in the head. And what I'm getting is that there really is some aggression there, and there really is a bit of a temperament, right, that really flares. And so there is actually concern about how well he would fare in a jail environment. So there is a lot of things that family is worried and concerned about. And he now has those ridiculous lawyers from Fox News. And, so I don't know. I suppose he thinks he's got really good legal representation. I don't know if that's going to work out so well for him. But so, he's just, part of the strategy, honestly, is to just drag this thing out as long as they can. I'm talking about the actual court proceedings. They want to drag it out. And the hope is this. The hope is that right before Trump leaves office, he's going to issue a bunch of pardons for a bunch of people who got in trouble because of him. So Flynn, Flynn, Manafort, Roger Stone, because they're all guilty, right? They've all pled guilty. So he's going, that is the hope. That is sort of the strategy that's being talked about behind the scenes, is this sort of idea of, okay, I'm going to pardon them on my way out the door. So then really people aren't going to be so interested in hearing what they have to say because I'm not going to be in office anymore. That's their thinking. I'm not saying it's good or bad, right or wrong. I'm just saying that appears to be kind of the strategy. And so what Flynn is doing is he is attempting to drag out these legal proceedings as long as he can, because he sort of wants getting that final sentencing to sort of correspond with Trump's departure from office. And so what his strategy is I'm going to drag this out so there isn't going to be time to send me to prison before Trump is ready to leave office and thereby pardon me. So that's what's going on, sort of logically, if you will, strategy-wise, behind the scenes. Okay, so this is the thing, right? First, he thought he was going to be able to steer himself into a better position when he initially pled guilty. And let's not forget, Bill Barr has opened up another investigation, bless his corrupt soul, into the FBI interviews that actually sort of being what started the interviews with Flynn with the FBI is what sort of started the investigation, or the investigation that he got caught up in. So he thought that he could kind of steer himself into smoother waters, but I got to tell you, there really is something a little bit faulty with the way he processes information. It's a really bizarre feeling. It almost feels like past events have almost created a little bit of an adrenaline junkie with this guy. And so he really, really likes that skating on the edge and sort of shifting his story. He thinks he's very, very clever. And so that was sort of the first thing. And then, after that, he decided, no, you know what, I'm going to start attacking the way the FBI treated me, because, the people on Fox News said I wasn't being treated well. And then now there is this, I want another trial. So that's kind of what's going on there. There is a great deal of hope that the White House is going to step in, but he really is destined for disappointment. It does not look like the White House is going to step in, or frankly step in when he would like to see them step in. If, the sentencing hearing goes ahead and he's going to go to jail, I don't know, like June, September, somewhere down the line this year. If he thinks that Trump is going to pardon him before that, he's mistaken. So he's going to be disappointed and ultimately have to walk away from the life he has created and built. And he's going off into a bit of a darker place, and he's doing it alone, okay? Yeah. So interesting. I'm actually seeing this Queen of Wands and this King of Cups as his legal team, as part of his legal team. So let's flip another card and see if we can figure out what's going on there. Yeah, they are trying to work in conjunction with some portion of the government, and they are actually trying to play, if you will, the procedures, the law, the rules. They really, really are kind of trying to bend the judicial system to their own will. Oh, geez, doesn't look like it's going to work out for them. They got the Three of Hearts sitting here. So guess what? They are going to ultimately end up being disappointed because it's not going to work. It really does not look like these cards are falling in a way that indicates that he's really going to get much of a break on this. Yeah. So, you know, it does not look like he really is going to get away with his crimes. There's definitely a sense right now that he is going to continue to push back and push back, try to defend himself. He really, really wants another court case. And it's a curious thing because okay, sorry. It's really not a curious thing, okay? Because if he is granted another court trial, he understands that he now has William Barr and William Barr's Justice Department in his corner because he knows William Barr is not going to tell the line prosecutors, I think that's what they're called, in the Department of Justice to go after him. He knows that they're going to give him a much easier ride of things, if you will, under Barr's controlled prosecutors. And it's not that the prosecutors are going to complacently go along with this, but it is a situation where there really is, he actually thinks that he has, that this is going to work to his advantage. But the celebration that he is hoping for, the warm reception, that's not happening. Again, I don't know what is going on with this guy's head, but there's delusions there. There's not actually looking very closely at the truth. It's not seeing things very realistically. And as a result, he is going to get shut out of that Trump inner circle. No matter how much he may think he's actually in the circle, he is not. Okay, so Michael Flynn, that's looking interesting. Now, Roger Stone, his sentencing hearing is coming up later on this week. I'm not quite sure of the date, but it's later on this week. And, you know, I guess we're going to see if the judge who he'd like to, I don't know, what was that, tweet or Instagram or something, her picture with her head in crosshairs. I guess we're going to see how she's feeling about the Justice Department saying, you know what, he's just fine. It's not a big deal that he threatened a witness. It's not a big deal that he's lied. And, you know, none of that really matters. We're going to see how well that sits with her. I'm going to suggest not particularly well. So Roger Stone. Alrighty. Roger Stone legal, Roger Stone legal, Roger Stone legal. Come here, pendulum. All right, so I would like to access some current information on Roger Stone. When you are ready to pass on that information and I have hit the highest levels of protection and accuracy, please go side to side as a way of telling me that you are ready to answer questions. And you can see it's actually moving side to side. It's one of the new intentions that I set with this pendulum, and I really quite like the way it works. Okay, so I want to talk about Roger Stone. Now, you know, I know that I've sort of referred to him ultimately as the Flynnstones in this video, but I gotta tell you, when I look at him, I actually see the penguin from Batman. I don't know, that's who I see when I look at that guy. Okay, so is Roger Stone going to be sentenced this week? Okay, so that's a yes. So then I'm just going to ask the same question the other way. Is Roger Stone's sentencing hearing likely to be delayed from this week's scheduled appointment? Is that going to get delayed? Okay, and that's a no, so clearly, I guess it looks like it's going to go ahead. Okay, is Roger Stone going to be sentenced according to the original Department of Justice guidelines? Yes. All right, now, is Roger Stone going to go to jail? And that's a yes. Is Roger Stone likely to be jailed for 2 or more years? Okay, and that's a no. So that's going to be interesting to see if this pendulum is accurate and his sentence comes in under, 24 months. Is Roger Stone hoping to be pardoned by Trump? Oh yeah, very, very much so. Is Roger Stone going to be pardoned by Trump? And you can see that it's just absolutely moved into a rather enthusiastic no. Thank you. All right, let's take a look at the cards. Okay, here we go. Roger Stone loves attention. He just loves it. He loves when people are talking about him. He loves it when his pictures on the news. He just loves that sort of adulation. It is his moment in the sun. Okay, it really is. This whole thing is just rocking his boat, right? I mean, he just thinks it's amazing until very recently when it actually penetrated that, wait a minute, I might actually be in some significant trouble here, and I may not actually be able to get saved. So he really does believe that his friendship with Trump, and it goes back decades, right? These guys have been friends for like ever. So he's really hoping that friendship, the strength of that friendship, is going to be what saves him, because he believes that he has enough dirt on Trump that Trump is not going to want to antagonize him. Trump is not going to want to ignore him. And let's be fair, both Flynn, but to a larger degree, Roger Stone, have not yet been relegated to the title of coffee boy. So he really thinks that he's got, frankly, something over Trump. He knows too many secrets, and he's pretty sure that Trump is not going to want to anger him and perhaps, face the consequences of what that might look like. But poor Roger, he's carrying a very, very heavy burden here, and it's not really feeling as if this burden is going to be lessened anytime, sort of in the immediate future. And again, not surprising, the Nine of Swords has come up in this reading, talking about the anxiety and the worry. And of course, Roger Stone is quite elderly. I'm not sure if he's in his 70s or his early 80s. I think he's somewhere in his 70s. But, you know, that's going to be a tough thing to get toxed in the hoosegow at that age. So there's a lot of anxiety and worry. There's also a great deal of worry and concern about his wife and or his family and what that's going to look like and how that's going to impact them. So that's what's going on, it looks like, in the Stone household right now. Wow, look how clear this is. He really is hoping that his friendship with Trump is going to allow him to weigh things into his favor, that the choice that gets made is in his favor. Is that choice with the judge? Is it because of the Department of Justice saying, oh, no, you know, he's fine. He doesn't need to go to jail. So, you know, again, sort of setting himself up a little bit. You know what? It's like he's put all of his eggs in the Trump basket. And I don't know who, with any clear thoughts, would actually put their eggs in a Trump basket. But apparently, the people around him seem to like to do that with, frankly, alarming regularity. Yeah, you know what? This is the thing. Okay, he's not really going to like the sentence he receives. And he understands. This is the same card that I saw for Flynn in terms of, you know, wandering off to prison and leaving his life behind. So I'm going to frankly read it the same way. This Queen of Cups is interesting. So it sort of looks as if there continues to be information that is hidden. He's going to do everything he can to hide it, but he is not going to be happy when Trump does not immediately step in and rescue him. Yeah, the law's going to win out on this one, I'm afraid. You know, the law is just going to take matters into its own hands. So again, I don't see, in fact, if anything, it really does look like Trump's interference and the Department of Justice's interference has in some way actually made it worse for him. So there's that. That Skittles behind me wandering around, just in case you're noticing and wondering which dog that is. Okay, so one more just little note. For those of you who are kind of struggling with the energies and the tensions and the worry and the anxiety of everything that is going on, I really encourage you to wander over to the Soulprint Insights channel. I posted a video last week on that channel called Self-Healing Meditation. It is a lovely little 20-25 minute meditation that really just allows you to recenter yourself, calm yourself, and push away and release some of the toxins that are being carried around because everybody is stressed. People are suffering ill health because of what is going on here. I encourage you to just, you know, give that meditation a try. It is one of my favorite. It works really well. And it's a very nice little, you know, 20-25 minute break. So thank you. Thank you so much for All of the Valentine's wishes, I received them. Thank you. I did try to send those wishes back to all of the people that said Happy Valentine's Day. If I missed a couple, I do apologize, but every single one of you got my wishes. I hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day weekend. Thank you so much for your support of this channel. It is greatly appreciated. Until next time, take care. Be well. We'll see you soon.